In a bustling city where ambition often drowned out quiet moments of reflection, there lived a man named Daniel. Every morning, he woke to the sound of alarm clocks and city traffic, feeling the weight of dissatisfaction pressing against his chest. Daniel's life, by most accounts, was comfortable. He had a steady job, a family who loved him, and a home that sheltered him from the chaos outside. Yet, none of it seemed enough. In his mind, there was always a missing piece: more money to chase, more recognition to earn, more happiness to grasp. His days were spent searching for what he lacked, and his heart, restless and heavy, never found peace. Daniel's complaints became a soundtrack to his existence. At work, he envied colleagues who got promoted. At home, he wondered why others seemed more joyful. Even when fortune smiled upon him, his eyes only roamed for what was absent. Life, he believed, was a long ladder, and he was always looking up at the rungs still to climb. One afternoon, burdened by his thoughts, Daniel wandered through the city park. The trees swayed gently, and the air was tinged with the scent of grass and blooming flowers. As he walked, he noticed an old gardener tending to a patch of earth near a bench. The gardener's clothes were faded and patched, his hands rough with years of labor, yet his face carried a calm, steady smile. Daniel's curiosity overcame his irritation, and he approached the gardener, unable to hide his skepticism. "Why do you look so content when you clearly have so little?" Daniel asked, his voice edged with disbelief. The gardener paused, studying a small flower that had grown bravely between two stones. He plucked it carefully, holding it as if it were the most precious thing in the world. "Because every little thing is a gift," he replied gently. "This flower doesn't ask why it was born in the cracks. It simply blooms, giving beauty to anyone who notices. I live the same way. I don't count what I lack. I count what I've been given." Daniel was silent, the words echoing in his mind. He left the park that day with the image of the simple flower and the old gardener's calm smile lingering with him. That night, sleep eluded him. He tossed and turned, wrestling with his thoughts. "I don't count what I lack. I count what I've been given." The phrase repeated itself, challenging the way he had always seen the world. When dawn broke, Daniel decided to try something new. Instead of rushing into his routine, he sat quietly and wrote down 3 things he was grateful for: his health, the family that stood by him, and the roof over his head. The act felt awkward, almost forced, but it brought a flicker of warmth to his heart, a gentle shift, like sunlight piercing through clouds. As days passed, Daniel continued the practice. Each morning, he found new reasons to be thankful: the laughter of his children, the kindness of a friend, the taste of warm bread, the shelter of home during a storm. His list grew longer, and something remarkable began to happen. The anger that had once simmered beneath his surface started to soften. His restless mind, always yearning for more, began to heal. Gratitude, he discovered, was not a denial of hardship, nor a blind optimism. It was a quiet acknowledgement of blessings, both great and small, that life offered each day. Daniel's perspective changed. Where he once saw only obstacles, he now noticed opportunities. Flaws in people and circumstances became chances for understanding and kindness. Hope replaced fear, and peace settled into the corners of his heart. Instead of measuring his life by what he lacked, Daniel learned to see the treasure in what he already had. The transformation was gradual but profound. He became more patient with others, more forgiving of himself. The world seemed less harsh, more generous. Difficult days still came, but he faced them with a steadiness born of thankfulness. He realized that gratitude wasn't a magic cure. It did not erase problems or guarantee success. Instead, it was a way of seeing, a lens that brought into focus the good that was always present, waiting to be noticed. Years passed, and Daniel grew older. His hair turned silver, his steps slowed. People who knew him well remarked on the peace that seemed to radiate from him, a calmness that made them feel safe and understood. Curious, many asked him for the secret to his serenity. Daniel would smile, recalling the gardener from so long ago, and answer, "The world changes when your heart learns to say thank you. Gratitude doesn't give you more things, It teaches you to see the treasure in what you already have, and that is where true peace begins. His words reached people in different ways. Some took them as simple advice, others as profound wisdom. But for Daniel, it was a truth shaped by experience, a gift received and then shared. The gift of a thankful heart is not found in possessions or achievements. It is not measured by the size of one's fortune, nor the praise of others. It is born in the quiet moments when we pause to notice the beauty of a flower blooming in a crack, or the comfort of a hand held in ours. It grows when we choose to count blessings instead of burdens, and when we remember that every day, no matter how ordinary, brings its own small miracles. Gratitude does not ignore pain or sorrow. It simply offers a way to hold both joy and hardship together, to see life as an unfolding story rich with meaning and possibility. It teaches us to cherish what we have, to honor the people and moments that shape our journey, and to find peace not in having more, but in being present to the gifts that already fill our lives. Daniel's story reminds us that thankfulness is a choice, a gentle turning of the heart toward light, even when shadows linger. It is a gift we can give ourselves, and one that, in sharing, enriches everyone around us. The world may not change overnight, but the way we experience it does. With a thankful heart, we see beauty where others see cracks, and we find peace where once there was only longing. So, as you move through your own days, remember Daniel, the gardener, and the lesson of the blooming flower. Pause, look around, and ask, what have I been given? Let gratitude soften your heart, heal your mind, and guide you toward the peace that waits within. For in the end, the greatest treasures are not what we chase, but what we learn to cherish. And that is the true gift of a thankful heart.